happens when a huge volume of fiery molten rock meets a giant mass of frozen ice. Boom, boom, boom. When a volcano meets a glacier, it can be intense. And the results are spectacular and dangerous in ways that might surprise you.
So today, we're diving deep into the chilling world of what happens when lava emerges underneath glacier ice. These volatile eruptions have the power to disrupt events across the globe, even if you don't live anywhere near a glacier or volcano. So you don't want to miss this very explosive episode.
Boom.
Boom.
On a recent trip to Iceland, we were fascinated to see firsthand the amazing impact of what happens when a volcano erupts underneath a glacier. So we decided to investigate more to share with all of you. And we learned these eruptions are so powerful they can disrupt everyday life all around the globe.
To understand what happens when a volcano erupts under a glacier, we need to lay down some basics.
So imagine a glacier as a massive frozen river of ice. Now glaciers can be anywhere from a few tens of meters thick to more than 1,000 meters thick, and they form when more snow falls and melts over time. Now this snow compacts into ice, deformed and compressed under its own weight and the effects of gravity.
In some places in the world, beneath the icy surface, hidden from view, lies a fiery secret. Volcanoes silently filling their empty magma chambers with molten rock from the Earth's crust and mantle. Geothermal heat can warm the Earth and eventually even erupt fiery lava out to the surface. So we've got ice and fire, like a mythical battle.
These eruptions are so special that they even have their own name. Are you ready? Wait for it. They're called subglacial eruptions.
Shocking, right?
And they only happen in a very few places on the Earth.
Not surprisingly, subglacial eruptions happen in places on Earth where you find both glaciers and volcanoes.
Also shocking.
Yeah.
We're blowing your minds right now. As it turns out, at this particular time on Earth, this means most of the subglacial eruptions happen in places like Antarctica and Iceland. Now, while we haven't made it yet to Antarctica.
What, do you think we should go? Tell us in the comments. Please say no, because I don't want to go to Antarctica.
I want to go. Let's go. If you want to see the extraordinary natural phenomenon of subglacial volcanoes in action today, you can't really ask for a better spot than Vatnajökull National Park, because it is home to not one, but 8. Yes, 8 volcanoes concealed beneath immense glaciers. When these subglacial volcanoes erupt, they set in motion a dramatic chain of events, including what Icelanders call jökullips, or glacial outburst floods.
So, what exactly are these jökullips? In addition to being a very fun word to say.
It's pretty fun. This is an Icelandic term that translates into the English phrase glacial run. It originally referred specifically to the subglacial outburst floods that came from Vatnajökull National Park, triggered by geothermal heating and subglacial eruptions. But now this term has been adopted more generally by those who study glaciers to describe the large and sudden release of subglacial water as they occur throughout the world in response to volcanic activity.
Prime example of this process is this place, located in here, near one of Iceland's most active volcanoes, here. Anyway, that was a mouthful.
Deep within the Grímsvötn crater, geothermal heat has created a subglacial lake. Now, during volcanic eruptions, this lake causes massive amounts of meltwater to be unleashed onto the land.
That sounds intense. Tell us what happened next.
Well, the subglacial volcano is about 50 kilometers away from the glacier's terminus. This is the place where the meltwater emerges from the end of the glacier. When these jökullips or outbursts occur, the glacier's meltwater carries sediments away with it, forming vast plains known as sanders. These remarkable sanders are a defining feature of the Icelandic landscape.
Sanders, tell us more.
Well, glacial lake outburst floods from this place can wreak havoc on roads and bridges situated on or near these sanders. Now, one unforgettable event in November 1996 saw Grímsvötn's eruption triggering a 2-day jökullip with continual water flooding and washing away of bridges and roads and causing seismic activity within the glacier. When the powerful surges finally subsided, there were giant 15-meter icebergs weighing 1,000 tons spread across the plain.
That's incredible! And terrifying at the same time. Tell me more.
As it turns out, flooding is a major risk factor for humans and livestock living near these glaciers that exist on top of volcanoes. And while flooding is the primary hazard associated with these kind of eruptions, it isn't the only one.
Subglacial eruptions can feature the explosive meeting of fire and ice. That becomes vaporized quickly into steam by the heat.
This steam can increase the explosive power of the eruption, sending ash higher and farther into the air. And this ash can also contain lava that cooled very fast in the presence of ice and cold water, which basically can turn that lava into sharp little fragments of glass. One of the most famous cases of this kind of eruption occurred at Iceland's Eyjafjallajökull volcano in 2010. The eruption sent ash clouds high into the atmosphere, disrupting air travel for weeks across Western Europe and impacting individuals like you and me worldwide.
So, the aftermath of these eruptions is just as important as the eruptions themselves.
Exactly. The interactions between fire and ice create a complex web of consequences that impacts the entire planet. But they also provide scientists with invaluable insights into the Earth's inner workings. And we can find other examples of subglacial eruptions from more remote points in Earth's history, like the eruptions that happened at the end of the last ice age to form the beautiful Kerlingarfjöll Mountains in the Icelandic highlands.
It's pretty incredible how nature's forces collide in such dramatic fashion.
Indeed, Kai. Exploring the explosive world of subglacial volcanoes reminds us of the immense power and beauty of our planet. But do you know what these adventures are really missing? You! Yeah, you! The journey is not the same without you, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single curious and awesome discovery we have along the way. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you again here real soon.